Hey everyone, it's Troy Harper here at Harper's Cigar Lounge. How y'all doing? How's my family out there? I'm glad you guys could be here today. I'm glad you could join me. I hope you guys have a great cigar, a great drink, and some great hard rock, heavy metal music playing in the background wherever you are right now. Today will be hopefully an enjoyable and interesting show for you today. I'm going to be smoking a let's see here. It's a VILLIGER Culebra 5.5 or 5.5 by 24. And Culebra is Spanish for snake. So there it is. I have never smoked one of these before. I will pull this apart here and smoke one of these here in just a minute. But anyway, this will be an interesting experience. I've never had one of these before. I've had this in my humidor probably good for a good year now. So have always been wanting to find the right moment to smoke one of these cigars that are twisted in here. There's 3 twisted in that, as you can see. So anyway, I'll be just smoking one of those. I won't be smoking all 3 at once, but even though I've heard you can, so I don't know. Maybe I should try to smoke all 3 at once. That would be interesting to see what that does, but I think I'll just stick with one of them. Save the other 2 for a later time. But anyway, I didn't know what Culebra stood for or meant, but it's Spanish for snake. So anyway, so that makes sense, you know, since it's all twisted and curvy looking. So anyway, so it's going to be an interesting show today, and I hope you'll have fun. But anyway, sit back, relax, enjoy, and we'll get into this here just in a few. But anyway, the history on the Culebra, and this is coming from a, let's see, let me get to the right page here. Sorry. Okay, here we go. Had to get my notes in order here. But the Culebra says that it's rich in earthy taste notes and spice. And some history on it. Back in 1890, the Auckland Star, a New Zealand newspaper, reported that in the Philippines, it's a tobacco company in the Philippines that was established in 1881. This report came out in 1890, and this tobacco company in the Philippines started in 1881. But they were producing this Culebra at the time, and the reason why it's twisted is they were only allowing the factory workers that were rolling these cigars to take three home at a time each day. They could take 3 home, but I guess it was being abused somehow. Some people that were working in the factory were also taking more than what they should have, and so if they were caught with a straight stick, then the owners of the factory knew that they were stealing or taking more than what they should. So the twisted cigars with the band around on both sides was to kind of regulate how many cigars were leaving their factory each day. So if they left with just the 3 that were twisted together and tied together, that was great. But if they saw them with regular cigars besides those Culebras, then the factory owners knew they were stealing and taking more than their share of cigars. So that's how that all started. Pretty interesting. Anyway, so last week I had discussed about now what was I discussing last week? No, anyway, so last week I kind of got into Iron Maiden a little bit, and Judas Priest and stuff like that. And so I had discussed that Rob Halford had left Judas Priest for a little while, and had discussed that Bruce Dickinson had left for a little while, and that they had replacement singers. Well, anyway, so Blaze Bayley was the singer that took Bruce Dickinson's spot. with Iron Maiden, and he was with Iron Maiden from 1994 to 1999. And the albums that he was a part of was let's see here. Gotta get these in order. Okay, so the albums that Blaze Bayley was a part of with Iron Maiden while Bruce Dickinson was out was Virtual X or Virtual 10, which means this was their 10th studio album. And so the songs that I just kind of wanted to share on this that that were really good at the time on these albums, and I got the other one I'll show you that Blaze Bayley was with, but on this one, Sign of the Cross, Man on the Edge, let's see here, The Edge of Darkness were some of the great songs on this album. And then so the next one was Virtual 11, and that was a pretty decent album as well. And I do like these two albums, even though it's not with Bruce Dickinson. But the songs that were on this one that were very good, which this album came out in 1998, I should tell you. And this one came out in 1995. There's the back of Virtual 10 right there. There's the front. There's the inside right there, and kind of flip through this a little bit, I guess, for you. So there's just a little bit of the inside of the book here, and these are the remasters. Steve Harris, Blaze Bayley, Dave Murray, and then there's the band together there, which is a really cool shot. And Janet Gers, which had came in to be with Iron Maiden a couple albums in before this one came out. Anyway, so, and then the last but not least is Nico McBrain. But anyway, these albums here that I'm showing you weren't real successful albums, but Blaze Bayley I thought was a good replacement. He almost reminded me of Paul Di'Anno a little bit, that sang on the very first two Iron Maiden albums, which was Iron Maiden Self-Titled and Killers. He kind of reminded me of him a little bit. So anyway, but here's again Virtual 11. There's the back, and there's the inside right there. And the artwork was so different as well. A lot different than the other Iron Maiden albums, but Steve Harris, again, Blaze Bayley. There's an order form there for some merchandise. There's a kind of a nice shot of all the album covers from all the Iron Maiden albums over the years. Anyway, Iron Maiden had a soccer. They had their own soccer team, so that's part of the soccer team. There's the other half of the soccer team right there. And if you haven't checked these albums out, Dave Murray, I suggest that you do. They are really good albums, in spite of the fact that Bruce Dickinson wasn't with them, and Janet Gers. And of course there's Eddie right there, their mascot. But anyway, if you haven't checked these albums out, I would say do it if you can find them at a decent price. I don't know what these cost nowadays if you were to find them. They might be pricey, I don't know, but if you can find them at a decent price, definitely check them out. Virtual 10, Virtual 11. And again, there's the backs of them right there. But Blaze Bayley, he was, like I said, he was with Iron Maiden from 1994 to 99. And the band, they were great. I mean, they really were great. And Blaze Bayley was, I think, a good replacement for Bruce Dickinson at the time. But unfortunately, just the fans wanted Bruce Dickinson back, and so they got it. By gosh, you know. But you know, and then Janet Gers, I had mentioned, was with Iron Maiden during this time, and he was with them with a couple other albums. Fear of the Dark, he was on Janet Gers, and he was on. I'm trying to remember the other album before Fear of the Dark that he was on. Hopefully they'll come back to me. But Adrian Smith had went on to do some of his own work, and then he went on to be with Bruce Dickinson during his solo albums that Bruce Dickinson was doing at the time, and so Janet Gers ended up staying with Iron Maiden. He's still with them to this day, even when Bruce Dickinson came back. Janet Gers stayed, and then Adrian Smith came back when Bruce Dickinson came back, and they did the Brave New World album. Which was in, I think it was around 2000, 2001, the Brave New World album came out. And so they kept Janet Gers, which I think that I'm glad they did. He's been a great addition to Iron Maiden. So gosh, you know, so they've got, you know, they've got Janet Gers on guitar still to this day, as well as Adrian Smith, and then Steve Harris on bass, and you got the dual guitars going. I think it's great. So anyway, but you know, check out those two albums I talked to you about, and check it out for yourself. I know you can go on YouTube and listen to the songs too. If you don't want to try and buy the album, you can go, or if you're interested in buying the album and you want to listen to it first before you make that decision, you can go to YouTube, I know, and listen to those albums. So, and then also wanted to also discuss this album here from Judas Priest, Metal Meltdown. This was a live album that came out in 1998 with let's see here, it's gosh, I'm sorry guys, I'm getting my words all jumbled up here. Tim Ripper Owens is what I'm trying to say, and he's with KK's Priest right now, which I just ordered both. My wife ordered me the new one that's coming out at the end of this month, Sinner Rides Again, and then I ordered Summons of the Sinner, which I think will be coming any day now. That came out, it was probably a couple years ago, I guess that album came out. But started listening to them on YouTube, and I was just blown away by how much they sounded like 90s Priest, which I kind of discussed on my last podcast last week. Really reminds me of the Painkiller, Judas Priest era. So anyway, ended up ordering. We got, between me and my wife, we got both of those coming. So I'm very excited to hear those. And but Tim Ripper Owens, he's just killing it with KK's Priest, and he was pretty good with Judas Priest, which he was with Judas Priest from 97 to 2001. He was on the Jugulator album that came out in 97, and then they did the Live Meltdown that I just told you about, that Ripper Owens is on, and this is a really great live CD. It sounds really good, and I've been really happy with how this album is, and I do love Rob Halford more than anything, and he'll always be my favorite in Judas Priest. But Tim Ripper Owens was really good. I thought, well, Rob Halford was out doing the Fight band and doing his solo stuff, so I thought they were great, you know, together with Tim Ripper Owens. Gosh, Tim Ripper Owens has also been involved with Iced Earth, you know, of course, Judas Priest, and he was with Yngwie Malmsteen too, I found out, and I'm not sure what years those were, but, and then he was with, like I said, Iced Earth. So he's been with some great groups, you know. So if you haven't checked out anything with Tim Ripper Owens, make sure you check him out. But I'm loving it with KK's Priest, and I can't wait to get a hold of these two albums that are coming. And when I get those, I will show you guys those in one of my next podcasts. I'll show you those two. I got them on CD coming, so I'll show you the two CDs, the packaging and everything when it comes. And when I listen to those, I'll let you know what I think and if I recommend them to you guys, which I'm sure I'll love them still, because what I'm hearing so far is great. So anyway, let me kind of get into the cigar here. I've never smoked one of these before, like I said. I've been very interested in smoking this. And so I can't wait to try this, definitely. So I'm just going to go ahead and take these bands off as carefully as I can. So there's one. And here's the other one going off. But some music news real quick. I don't have a lot today. But Michael Sweet from Striper, he says that they're getting ready to work on their next album. They're getting ready to write it, start writing anytime now. So I'm really excited to hear that the guys are going to start writing another Striper album. So I'm guessing it'll be out sometime next year, late next year, maybe early 2025. I'm not sure. They haven't set out any dates on when they hope to have it done or anything. So we'll see. But any of you Striper fans out there, Michael Sweet has confirmed that with, I guess, sometime at the end of this month or early next month, they'll start writing for a new Striper album. So they've each album they put out has just been great, and they just keep getting better and better. But Michael did say that they do want to kind of dabble with some new ideas and see how it goes. So it'll be really interesting to see what the next Striper album is like. I don't know if it's going to be harder even, or if it's going to be more, less harder. I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see what happens. So I know they did put out a demo from I think it might be for this new album that they're getting ready to write on. They did put out something for the fan club. I haven't heard it yet. I don't know what. Sadly to say that I am not a part of the Striper fan club. I need to get my membership in because I've been such a huge Striper fan for a long time, and I've been good friends with these guys for a long time, and just got to see him, last summer, early summer, I got to see him over in Denver and hang out a little bit with them. So anyway, but it'll be interesting to see what they do. So, and then Rick Allen, the drummer for Def Leppard, he will have a birthday, I think coming up November 1st, if I remember right. We'll discuss more Def Leppard later, but not today, but another podcast we'll discuss Def Leppard a little bit maybe. But anyway, but I guess his birthday's coming up November 1st. So anyway, we'll get into this. And again, I hope you guys have some kind of a drink. Hope you guys have a great cigar to smoke today with me. Hope you got some great music on in the background. I've got some Whitesnake playing. I got my Whitesnake shirt on. So that will be some of the subject matter today is Whitesnake. So I thought discussing some Whitesnake would be perfect pairing with the Culebras, since they are Spanish for snake. So anyway, let me pick one of these out to smoke. It's going to be a little bit crooked. So anyway, there's the two there that are left. I got one that's kind of cracking just a little bit, and I don't even know what end to smoke this on. Don't know what end to light, but we will see how this goes here. So anyway, I guess I'll go ahead and light the bigger end, or light the smaller end, and see how that works out. But anyway, this is going to be an interesting tasting cigar, I can tell already. very earthy tasting. I'll just tell you that right now on the cold draw. And the smell, definitely smells some earth and leather, I would say, on the wrapper. And I don't know if I had no information on this cigar. I could not find any information. I bought this through Cigars International, and so I got on their site to see what the wrapper and binder is and all that. But the only thing that they gave me information on was the wrapper, which is Sumatra. You know, it said on there that it's a rich and earthy taste notes of spice and earth. And so that's all I could get. So we'll see how this goes, and we'll see how this tastes here. And my mom's messaging me right now. Hi, Mom. I'll call you here in a little bit after I get done doing this podcast. I'll call you. Anyway, I love you, Mom. Anyway, before I get going, got my Kraken rum. Cheers to you guys. Thought I'd see how that pairs with the cigar too. Cheers, guys. Anyway, here we go, guys. Let's see. I don't even think I have to really light this like I normally do. Well, I don't have a bad taste to it so far. I'm trying to put my finger on what it does taste like. I'm trying to put my finger on it. I'm just going to say leather and earth kind of right now. I'm not tasting any pepper or any other taste notes really. It's just kind of earthy and leathery kind of a taste to it. Yeah, that's about all I'm getting so far. So anyway, what I wanted to kind of discuss today is Whitesnake a little bit. Like I said, I thought it'd pair well with this and pair well with my Kraken rum. So I've got the best of all three worlds here, I guess. But this is a good cigar so far. It's not harsh. It's not real strong. It's just more of a medium strength, I would say. Mild to medium strength. I'm going to say mild to medium strength. And it's burning fairly even so far, as you can see. And it's not too curvy, so I was expecting it to be really curvy after I unrolled it, but it's actually kind of straightened out a little bit, so it's more straight than I expected it would be. So but anyway, let's get into some Whitesnake for all you Whitesnake fans. And before the show's over, I'll announce all the new members and give you a count of how many members we've got with Harper Cigar Lounge now. And again, I do want to tell you guys thank you for being a part of Harper Cigar Lounge, for signing up, for joining, for being a part of the YouTube channel, for being a part of the Facebook group page. All you guys mean the world to me. I appreciate all of you. Thank you so much. And you guys are awesome. Without you, I wouldn't be here. And really, this is all for you guys. You guys that have been around a while like me. I want this group page to bring you back a lot of memories with the bands that we've all been listening to since we were teenagers. For the younger crowd, I want them to learn about the bands that are out there that have been around, that they've heard about but never really listened to, that are now starting to listen to. For them to be able to kind of go through and find all the different bands that I've put up for them to check out and listen to see who they want to follow. And just all the cigar content I put up from friends of mine at other cigar, posts I put up from other cigar lounges, other cigar shops out there. Some are friends of mine that I put things up from. And I just want everyone that's new and that's been smoking cigars for a while to kind of see what all the different cigars are out there that you can maybe find yourself and try yourself and smoke. So anyway, so I just hope you guys all have a good time on the group page, and I hope you guys are kind of learning something and also getting some good memories from maybe groups that you listen to, maybe that are all the way back to the 60s, that, you know, with the Who and Jimi Hendrix and the Rolling Stones, whoever it may be. Still getting about the same taste notes. Oops, lost my ash already. Okay. Anyway, I'm gonna have to ash this fairly quick, I think, most of the time. If I burn through this one pretty fast and we're not done with this podcast, I'll light another one up. How about that? But if you guys haven't tried a Culebra, and you find one, try it. Let me know what you think of it. Let me know your experience with it. Let me know what your taste notes were, how the construction was, if it held up for you good, if not, whatever the case is. But let me know. I'd like to know what your experiences were with this, definitely. But so far, mine's still tasting about the same, mild to medium strength, leathery, earthy. Not really getting anything else. Maybe just a touch of vanilla. Maybe just a touch of vanilla. Not really. Yeah, actually, right now on that puff, I just got a touch of black pepper. Just a touch of black pepper. So, anyway, Whitesnake. Let's discuss Whitesnake. How many fans are Whitesnake fans out there? I've been a long time. Been a long time. Hope you guys are. Hope there's some Whitesnake fans out there today. Because if you are, hopefully this will interest you. What I'll be discussing today. So anyway, so Whitesnake formed in London, England, in 1978. At the time, David Coverdale had just left Deep Purple. He had formed. Deep Purple was formed in 1968. Coverdale fronted Deep Purple from 73 to 76. And then in 1993, just to throw this out there, David and Jimmy Page from Led Zeppelin did do an album together. They collaborated together and did an album called Coverdale Page, which is really good. If you guys ever find that album, check it out. But Whitesnake's first album was called Trouble in 1978. Then they had Love Hunter in 1979, Ready and Willing in 1980, Love and Get It, or Come and Get It, sorry, Come and Get It, 1981. Saints and Sinners came out in 1982. And then the first album that I really got into with Whitesnake is called Slide It In, which came out in 1984. January 30th of 1984 it was released in the UK. March 23rd of 1984 it was released in Japan. And April 16th of 84 it was released in the United States. They were put on the Geffen Records with Slide It In. This album was the fourth top 10 album in the UK between all the albums they had put out. This was the fourth one they had put out that was in the top 10 in the UK. For the band members, of course, David Coverdale lead vocals on Slide It In. Mel Gailey, guitars and vocals. Mickey Moody, guitars on the UK version. There's two different versions of the Slide It In album, which I will show you. I've got the album right here. I'll show it to you here in a minute. So there's UK version, US version. And I picked up the anniversary Slide It In Whitesnake album here just not too long ago. So I'll show that to you here in a minute. But anyway, so like I said, Mel Gailey on guitars, vocals, David Coverdale on lead vocals, Mickey Moody guitars on the UK version, John Sykes guitars on the US version, Colin Hutchinson bass on the UK version, and then Neil Murray bass on the US version, Cozy Powell on drums on the UK and USA version, John Lords keyboards on the USA and UK version, Bill Kuamo, he's an additional keyboards that was on the US version. But anyway, I meant to say David Coverdale, Mel Gailey were both on the US and UK version as well. So let's see here. With the Slided In album, Whitesnake went to a harder sound, more of the they kind of went from blues to the glam metal sound. Um, and yeah, just more harder and more glammy than what the other albums were. And Slide It In was recorded in Munich, Germany, at the Musicland Studios. So, just to throw that out there at you. Give this another little bit of a light here. Anyway, I don't know if the taste notes are going to stay or change at all. They've been staying pretty much the same so far overall. Off and on, I'm getting just a little bit of slight pepper, just very slightly. And then so let me actually, before I go on, let me show you the Whitesnake Anniversary Edition Slide It In album. There it is right there. And this version came out in 2019, and it originally came out in 1984, like I had said. So there's the back, and there's some pictures of all the singles that came out for this album. And let's see here. Let me open this up so you guys can kind of see what the inside looks like. I kept my hype sticker that came with it. It says 35th Anniversary Deluxe Edition, new remasters, original US remix, original UK remix, or UK mix, and it's on 180 gram vinyl. But anyway, so there's the inside of this Anniversary Edition, right there. And there's no books or anything like that, but the album is really kind of neat. They both kind of got that on there in the center there. And I don't know, I can't tell which version I really like the best with this. They both sounded really good. I don't think the track listing was any different. Yeah. So let me read off the listing for the US remix. Side 1, Gambler, Slide It In, Slow and Easy, Love Ain't No Stranger, Give Me More Time, which Slide It In and Slow and Easy, Love Ain't No Stranger were their big hits on this album. Side 2, Standing in the Shadow, Hungry for Love, All for Nothing, or All or Nothing, Spit It Out, Guilty of Love. Hungry for Love was a big song of theirs too, I always thought. So, and then on the let's see, the UK version, we've got Gambler on side 3, Slide It In, Slow and Easy, Love Ain't No Stranger, Give Me More Time, and then the last side is yeah, so it's the same. Stay in the Shadow, Hungry for Love, All or Nothing, Spit It Out, Guilty of Love. So they are the same track listings, nothing different. But each version does sound just a slight bit different. The guitars and the keyboards are just a slight bit different. Even how it sounds, just a little different than from each other. But I honestly have to say, I think that the oh gosh, I want to say that probably I did like the US version the best out of both of them. I really thought the US version was probably definitely the best out of the two different versions. So if you guys have that album, or you've got both versions of that, let me know which one you think is the best. I'd be interested to know. This is not wanting to stay lit very well. We'll see if I can get it to stay lit now. Okay. And then, so then we go on to 1987 with the Whitesnake self-titled album right there. And this album, the big hits on this album were Crying in the Rain, Bad Boys, Still the Night, Here I Go Again. Is This Love, of course, the big ballad they had. Children of the Night. Big songs on this album. They had a lot of hits on this album. The original guys that recorded this album were David Coverdale, John Sykes. David Coverdale vocals, of course, John Sykes guitars and vocals, Neil Murray bass, Ansley Dunbar drums. So those were the original guys that recorded this album, that were on this album. And then after it was all recorded, David Coverdale really wanted to change the image of the band to be even more glammy and more hair metal type look. So they kind of went on to replace all the musicians in Whitesnake. So they ended up bringing Vivian Campbell in that had left Dio. And then Adrian Vandenberg on guitars, and then Rudy Sarzo on bass that came from Ozzy, from the Ozzy band and the Quiet Riot band, and then Tommy Aldridge on drums that came from the Ozzy Osbourne band. So they changed their look completely. I got to see Whitesnake during this time. I got to see him in Casper, Wyoming, and I saw him on November 18th of '87. They played in Casper, Wyoming. Great White opened up for them. They had just brought out the Once Bitten album, and in which Great White had Rock Me, Lady Red Light, Save Your Love. Those were the three big songs that Great White had at the time. And at that time, that was my first arena show. And seeing Great White and Whitesnake for the first arena show was just the absolute best. Still considered probably my top 10 of favorite concerts. It was just a great show. They had so much energy. Both bands had great energy. Great stage show. They were spot on with all the singing. Just very energetic. And the crowd was just crazy all night. And I was going crazy myself, to be honest with you, through the whole night with that show. It was just great. And then, of course, Vivian Campbell did later, after that 87 self-titled album, he went on to be with Def Leppard over in 1992 after Steve Clark passed away. He went on to replace him in Def Leppard. So, but anyway, during the recording of the '87 Whitesnake album, that was done at Little Mountain Studios in Vancouver, and Compass Point, Toronto, and then in Hollywood at 1-on-1 Studios. So that's where that was recorded. So Vancouver, Toronto, and Hollywood, all three different areas while they recorded that album. So, and that's one of my favorites also. Those are my two best, probably my two favorite albums. They went on to do an album called Slip of the Tongue, which was pretty good too, and Steve Vai came in to do that, replace Vivian Campbell on that album, and it was pretty good too. It came out just a couple, well, let's see, it came out just a couple years later, after the self-titled Whitesnake album. It came out, they had, Slip of the Tongue was a big song for them on that album. So, and I'm trying to remember some of the other songs they had on that next album. It wasn't quite as good as the self-titled Whitesnake and Slide It In album. It wasn't quite as good, but it was still good. It was still good. If you guys have that Slip of the Tongue album, let me know what you think of it. But anyway, I was gonna show you this. This is from the 1987 Whitesnake tour. There's Rudy Sarzo right there. Have his autograph. And he really changed how he looked compared to how he looked with Quiet Riot and Ozzy. He had just jet black hair, but he dyed his hair kind of blondish. Then here's Vivian Campbell's autograph. There's backstage pass from that tour. There's my ticket that I had bought for the show, which says Casper Event Center, Casper, Wyoming. Wednesday, 7:30 p.m., November 18th. I was on the floor right in front of the stage when I got to see them. Got to meet these guys before the show at the Hilton Inn in Casper, Wyoming. We were all in the bathroom, me and the two guys I was with. We were all in the bathroom combing our hair and getting our looks going the way we wanted. And I was done before the other two guys, so I walked around the Hilton and went to the bookstore and got to meet Vivian Campbell there. He was reading a magazine about himself. And I apologize, I didn't mean to sound like I met both of these guys. I only met Vivian Campbell. Rudy Sarzo I never got to meet. I actually got a hold of that autograph through a guy that actually worked I found a guy on eBay that had actually worked that show in the Casper, Wyoming arena at the Casper Event Center. And I got to get that autograph picture off of him from that show. So that autograph did come from the Casper show in Casper, Wyoming. It just didn't, I didn't get to obtain that autograph myself. But the one right here, Vivian Campbell, I did. And I don't know if you guys can see that, but it says, to Troy, best wishes, Vivian Campbell. Try to get a close-up of that. I don't know if you can see that. I think that was pretty good shot for you guys. So anyway, but I did get the guitar pick from Rudy Sarzo at the concert. He threw that out. So I got that from him. I luckily caught that when he threw it out in the audience. And then Vivian Campbell, this guitar pick here, he actually gave to me when I met him. So that was pretty cool. So anyway, so I actually had that personally given to me by him. And I don't know if I told you where he was in the hotel. He was in the bookstore or in the gift shop, and he was reading a Metal Edge magazine about himself, an article that came out about him at the time. So that's when I got to meet him and talk to him was at that time. So, yeah, so hopefully some of that was interesting for you guys to hear. Trying to see if there's anything I've missed. There's some things that we'll discuss on the next podcast down maybe next week. Or maybe a couple podcasts down the road. I will have hopefully a really special Halloween edition podcast for you guys that will not be here at my cigar lounge. It will be somewhere else here in town, and I'll keep that as a surprise. So I'm hoping that what I'm planning on doing will work out. I really am, because I think it'll be really exciting for you guys. So I will have to keep that a secret just to keep you guys interested. Hope you guys will tune into that one, but I will give you a heads up on it. I'll let you know what's going on in the future. It'll be, like I said, close to Halloween in October, where I will, hopefully my plans will work to do what I'm planning on doing for you guys. So anyway, I'll keep you up to date on what's going on with that. We'll see what's going on with that. I'll let you know. Definitely. So, but anyway, I do want to give a shout out to, of course, my wife. She's at work right now, but Marcy, babe, thank you for being such a huge support to me, and for getting this cigar lounge down here started down here, and for helping me get that going, and just for your huge support of my hobby and love for cigars. And I want to thank my youngest son Jason for helping her get that going too. And my oldest son, he's not into cigars or anything. He's 25. He's not into cigars, and but my youngest son, he's 15, and of course he has an interest in it, but of course he knows he can't do that until he turns of age. But he's been a huge support, and he helped kind of get this going too with my wife. So love you guys. Thank you so much. I want to say hi to my mom back in Torrington, Wyoming. She's a huge supporter of what I do too. My sister Cher, she's very supportive as well with what I do. My brother Grant back in Sheridan, Wyoming. He's kind of new to the whole cigar thing. He's kind of getting involved with that a little bit. So thank you, brother Grant, my younger brother, for being a part of this as well, and for all your support and everything you do to support me and what I do. So I love you too, and want to thank the Cigar Junkies over in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, Corey Banks, Samuel Hoffman, and Jason. You guys are great. I can't wait to see your next show this Sunday. Looking forward to it. I look forward to seeing your guys' shows every week. Sometimes because of my work, I can't be there for the live show, but I make sure I catch it later on in the day or in the evening. But I've loved all your shows. You guys are great. And all you Harper Cigar Lounge family members, check out the Cigar Junkies. They've got a Facebook group page. They've got a YouTube channel. They're on Spotify as well. So check them out. You'll love them, and they're great guys. Samuel Hoffman he won. He got the reward for the best cigar lounge bar in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, which he has pretty much been running by himself majority of the time. So he's a hard worker. And then Corey, he's works in a steel mill when he's not doing the podcast. So, just blue collar type workers, which I relate. Besides what I do here at Harper Cigar Lounge, I manage a grocery store. I carry a lot of groceries, a lot of spirits, wines, beers, and I carry premium cigars as well. And we carry some clothing as well. So a little bit of everything. But I'm in a small town. And so I'm really the only one here that has this service in town. I mean, we've got some dollar stores, but they don't really offer a lot. So really, with my store, I offer quite a bit more. So people really depend on our store, which is called Main Street Market. If you guys are in the Kimball, Nebraska area, which we're about 3 hours, three and a half hours to 3 hours, going north, east of Denver, Colorado. If you're know the Cheyenne area, we're just east of Cheyenne, about 45 minutes. So if you're in the Kimball area, look me up. We'll set up some time for you to come to the lounge. If you come to the store, I'll give you some great deals on cigars, great deals on spirits, and we got great deals on food. We got a great deli that serves hot food every day and sandwiches and all kinds of stuff. And got great groceries, and I'm just one of 3 stores in our chain. The other Main Street Market's in Scottsbluff, Nebraska, which is 45 minutes from us, and then Torrington, Wyoming, the other Main Street Market, which they're about an hour and 20 minutes away from us, going northwest. So anyway, if you're ever in all those areas, check those stores out. But right now, myself and the Scottsbluff store, which is where our corporate office is, we're the 2 stores that carry premium cigars and spirits on top of groceries and everything. So check us out. If you're in the Kimball area, come see me. I'll give you some great deals on some great premium cigars. And I got some accessories as well if you need lighter, cutter, Boveda packs, travel humidors. We get a lot of truck drivers that come through our town, so they buy those things. We got a lot of people that go golf. We've got a great golf course here in town. So people come to our golf course in town to go golfing. They'll stop and buy cigars. So I'd say our number one seller at our store is the Sweet Jane from Drew Estate. That came from the Deadwood Tobacco Company in Deadwood, South Dakota. And the Fat Bottom Betty is another great one. Arturo Fuente, Oliva, or two other ones that are really great sellers for me. But I've got all kinds of different brands of cigars, so come check us out if you're in the Kimball area. So so far the cigar's staying lit for me now. It's been an interesting cigar, I'll just say that. Not a bad cigar though, it really is, and it tastes a lot better than what I expected. It really does taste better than what I expected. But it is mild to medium. Getting just some slight pepper, getting more still earthy vanilla or earthy leather type taste notes. So it's not bad. It's really not bad. It would be great to share with two other people. And it's not a real long smoke. You can see that it's already down quite a bit. And we've been into this this podcast about 52 minutes. And I probably didn't start the cigar up until about, I'm guessing, about 10 minutes into the show approximately. So about 40 minutes right now I've been smoking this. I did have to relight it a couple times, but now it's staying lit. It's staying lit very well. It is starting to unravel just a little bit right there. It's starting to unravel quite a bit, to be honest with you. But we'll see if we can keep this together. But it's tasting fairly well. But but now that I've kind of gotten halfway down into it, or almost halfway into it, it's starting to unravel a little bit. So that I'm not liking too much, but let me see if I can kind of get rid of some of that wrapper there that's kind of coming apart. So I kind of burned some of that wrapper down a little bit there. But overall, I mean, it's better than what I expected. It really is. But it is unraveling, which I not real thrilled about, but peeled a little bit of that off so it wasn't hanging on there so much. And with this, I've found out you gotta ash it fairly often so it doesn't fall on your carpet. If you got carpet in your cigar lounge, if you've got one, yeah, just make sure you ash this often because the ash falls off real easy. But anyway, I tore a little bit of that wrapper off, and so it's staying together fairly well, I guess. I tore just a little bit more off it. So what I think I'm finding out here is that there's no filler or binder in this. I think it's just all wrapper from what I'm kind of seeing here. I think it's just wrapper that's been rolled tight, and it's got good airflow. It hasn't been a tight draw at all or anything, but it was rolled pretty good. But I think that's the only reason why it gave me information on the wrapper, because I think that's all this is just wrapper, guys. But like I said, I've never smoked one of these. I've never known too much about these. This is my first experience, so I guess we're all learning together. I also meant to give a shout out to David Garofalo at Cigar Authority over in New England, and he's been a great mentor. I watch their stuff a lot, him and the guys that he's with. Tim Swanson is really the first person I caught on to for podcasts, for videos on YouTube and stuff like that. He is really what taught me a lot of what I know. I Googled so many things I had questions on about cigars in the beginning, which was a couple years ago. And every time I'd Google something, there'd be on YouTube, there'd be one of his videos that would pop up, so I'd watch it. And so that was really good. I mean, the stuff that he put out really answered a lot of my questions, and I got to watch him demonstrate a lot of stuff that helped me. So Tim Swanson, hello. And I put in a question to him once on one of his live shows, and he answered it and recognized us over here in Nebraska. So I appreciate that, Tim. Mr. Swanson, I appreciate that. And David Garofalo, he's messaged me about my podcast, and gave a comment that he really liked how this show is. He thought it was laid back and really enjoyable to listen to, very relaxing. So I don't want you guys to fall asleep during my podcast, but I do want you guys to feel, that you can just kick back and relax and escape from all the crap that's going on out there in the world, and just put all that aside and just sit here and relax and enjoy yourself and hang out with me. I just want you guys to be able to do that and not worry about any of the crap that's going on out there in the world. I just want you to be able to escape while you're with me. So I hope you're able to do that when you're with me. I really do. But I really love hanging out with you guys. You guys are a blessing and a gift in my life, and I think about you guys all the time. I hope you guys are seeing the messages I put up on my Facebook group page. And I'll continue to put out little short videos, to say hi to you guys and put up pictures of myself and what I'm smoking, and to show you what I'm doing, what cigars I'm trying out and smoking. So I hope you guys are catching those, so I'm staying in touch. But I'll always do that as much as I can. But I'm glad that I've been back doing these podcasts again. I had to take a break over summertime because I was just too busy with work, and on my days off I had too many things going on that I had to take care of. So it was really hard to get down here and do this. But it's kind of the time of season again where winter's going to be coming, and I'm not going to be able to do a whole lot in the wintertime. So besides work, I won't have as much to do. So I will continue to do these podcasts until next summer hits, and then I'll have to take a break again next summer, and then we'll start up with season 3, hopefully, so after next summer. So I plan to continue to do these as long as you guys are showing interest and showing me that you want me to keep doing this. So keep leaving your feedback, on the group page, the Facebook group page. Communicate with me. Let me know, what you want to see more of, what you don't want to see as much of, whatever it is. Let me know what you're up to. Let me know how you're doing. If you go into the YouTube podcast I've got, make sure you give me a thumbs up, comments, subscribe if you haven't yet. Hit your like or hit a thumbs down. But if you do the thumbs down, let me know why. If you give me a thumbs up, let me know why. Leave me your comments. Please do that. I want to know what I can do better for you guys. And in the near future, we may look at getting some shirts made up. But please let me know if you're interested in that. If you're interested in a shirt, and I got enough requests, let me know. We'll get some made up, and we'll get some sent out to you guys, and we'll make it very reasonable for the pricing, as we'll keep the shirts as low as possible for the pricings. But we'll make sure we're very fair about that with you guys if you're interested in a shirt. We're trying to figure out a design for the shirts right now. I'm checking into different companies that can make them. So I'm just trying to find the best company with the best value, so we can make the shirts as cheap as possible for you guys, if you want to wear one and advertise us and kind of be an advocate for us wherever you are. But the shirts are good. Shirts are great conversation starters. And with that being said, then you can let people know about this group page, and get people turned on to it. Especially if you know people that are into hard rock, heavy metal, that are into cigars, premium cigars, that are maybe into some rums or whiskeys or tequilas. This is a great place to be, and you won't be anywhere else where you'll find cigars, premium cigars, hard rock, heavy metal, and just a great family atmosphere and a great friendship between all of us. You won't find that anywhere else. Besides, I will say, besides the Cigar Junkies over in Pittsburgh. Those guys are great. Please check them out. They work so hard, and they deserve your attention. I'll just say that. But they're funny as all hell, and they get into some good conversation, some very interesting conversation. But they just get into some everyday conversation, and they joke around about things, and they get into some very interesting subjects, and they just have a great time. And when I watch them and I'm a part of it, I have such a great time too. And I've gotten to know Corey Banks overall, and we message each other back and forth. We've talked to each other on the phone, and he's actually sending me a Cigar Junkies t-shirt, which I will wear on my podcast to advertise them, because I believe in what they do, and they got my support. But please check them out. Continue to support me as well, but check those guys out and support them as well. They've got a very unique podcast that you won't see anywhere else as well. But just great guys. I can't brag enough about them. So anyway, Corey, Samuel, Jason, hello, over here from Kimball, Nebraska at Harper Cigar Lounge. Thank you for your friendship, and thank you for sending me a shirt, Corey. I appreciate it so much, and I can't wait to wear it and advertise you guys and show it off. So anyway, but you guys, I appreciate you so much over there in Pittsburgh. You guys are awesome. And all you Harper Cigar Lounge family members, I appreciate you above all. And you guys are my number one priority, besides my family here, that I'm with. But you guys are my number two priority, I should say. My family comes first, but you guys are family also around the world. So you guys are my second priority. So thank you guys for all your support. But like I said, check Harper Cigar Lounge out on Facebook, on YouTube, and then I will, off and on, I'm doing some audio recordings, podcasts on Spotify. So check that out too. Check Harper Cigar Lounge out on Spotify. So anyway, but before I am done with you guys, let me give a shout out to, hold on a second. Oh, I puffed too hard that time. I want to give a shout out to all of our new members, but I wanted to get another puff of this and tell you what I'm tasting. A little more peppery now, a little more leather, and a little more earth. It's getting down more to where it's getting just a little bit more stronger. I'm going to say now it's more medium plus for the taste, for the strength. But overall, not bad. It is unraveling a little bit. It started doing that about 3/4 of the way through. But it has had an even burn. It's had good ash, overall. But I do have to ash it often because it falls off a lot easier than a regular cigar. And the taste notes have been decent, not bad at all. So I do suggest you guys try one of these. Let me know what you think. So let me know if you've had these or if you're going to try it, and when you do, let me know what you think. So anyway, let me get a drink real quick, and then I'll give a shout out to all of our new members. So cheers to all of you new members and all members alike. You guys have been with us from a year ago, for this whole year. I appreciate you guys. Thank you for joining and for being a part of this still. And you guys have just joined, thank you so much. We are up to 872 members now, which is really exciting. And each day we got more people signing up, which is awesome. But here's a list of the some of the new members. And if I don't get your name, I apologize. But you're thought of, and hopefully I didn't miss your name. Let me know if I did. I will make sure I get your name on the next podcast. Let me know if I missed your name on this, but I will make sure that I give you a shout out on the next on the next podcast. So send me a message if I missed your name, guys. Let me know. Let me know. Jane Danny, Robert Pickering, Ali Arslaw, Stephen Imlay, Paul Chapman, sorry, Joseph R. Cotter, Maurice Freeman Dowden, Willie Vargas, Gonzalez James, Russ Mathis, Trisha Nelly, Eric Meng, Scott Culver, Kevin Nonnelly. Hopefully I pronounced everyone's names. That's who I've got down. And Tom Carr, thank you for signing up as well. I might have mentioned you on the last podcast. I can't remember. But Tom, I appreciate you, and I want to say thank you for joining as well. And all of you other guys that have joined, thank you very much for joining. And you guys are much appreciated. You're always in my thoughts, and I appreciate you guys. I really do. So anyway, if I missed your name, or if I mispronounced your name if I pronounced it the wrong way, let me know as well. But anyway, guys, I hope you've been enjoying this today. I'll let you go for now. We'll see you next week. And but anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this today. Hope you were able to kick back and relax with a good drink, great smoke, and with some great music in the background, whatever. But let me know what you guys are listening to these days. Let me know if there's any new bands you're discovering. I don't know. I can't wait to get, like I said, I can't wait to get KK's Priest. Those two CDs here, they should be here anytime. And there's a band called Surge out there that I've been really loving. Check them out on YouTube or Facebook. And let's see, who else? Code Orange is another band I've discovered. Check them out on Facebook and YouTube. Code Orange. They're very heavy, kind of like Slipknot type of music. Surge is kind of 80s, a little modern metal, but more at the 80s metal sound. And gosh, there's so many other great ones out there. But if you guys are discovering any bands out there that are new, let me know to see if I've heard of them or not. Hopefully, if I haven't, I'll be able to check them out and start to like them as much as you do if you're a fan. So let me know. But anyway, guys, I'm going to let you go for now. Thanks for hanging out with me again today. And you guys rock. I love you guys. God bless you. And please stay in touch. I'll keep staying in touch with you. But let me know how you're doing out there. Let me know what's going on with you guys. I want to know. Without you guys, I wouldn't be here. We're all in this together. We're all family, and I will treat you as such as always. And message me. I'll make sure I message you back. But anyway, for now, again, I'll let you go. But cheers again, guys, and God bless. And I will see you later. And keep rocking, keep smoking, and keep finding some good drinks out there to pair with your cigars, and great music to pair with your cigars. Cigars and music, first and foremost, have a language of their own, and they pair great together. So this is a great family we got here. Let's keep it going. Keep spreading the word, guys. Let people know about this, and so they'll join. So, but anyway, again, guys, thank you. God bless. I'll talk to you soon. All right, God bless, guys. And give you a fist pump. So anyway, bye-bye now.